Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to Coach Cruise. And we should have Derek from Island Time joining us shortly here, but we're going to go ahead and get things started. You see, I got Zoe here on my left, and she is, as always, begging for treats over here. But while we're waiting on Derek, why don't I take the time to tell you a little bit about the show. We're going to be talking about the Carnival Jubilee, and it is going to be a review and preview because Derek and myself and a cast of thousands of others of people will be getting on the Carnival Jubilee next Saturday. So it's going to be a preview as well, but we're going to talk about the Carnival Jubilee a lot today and go through deck by deck and you know everything that it has to offer. But let me just give out some awards here. Imagination Awards, if you will. But Trisha and Bert were the gold medal winners today. They got on the podium. They were the first to check in, says, hi, everyone. And then our very own men's, Aaron, gets on the podium, I think maybe for the first time. She checked in super early. She got the silver medal. And then we had Edmund Tim checking in with the bronze. But if you don't want to account the admin, then let's scroll down and we will find J&T Adventures. So if you don't count our admins, that would put J&T Adventures on the podium with the silver. And who was next to check in? And Chris Moss would be the bronze. Welcome to the channel, Chris, once again. And Derek is backstage, so let me bring him on. We also have Sandy, the Lost Pirate Jenkins. Gabby the Goat is back once again, saying, hey, Coach. Hey, Gabby. Will G is back, and I know he is what I call an island cruiser, which we'll explain that in just a minute. Whatever floats your boat is here. Michelle B is back once again. Yoli is back once again. I shared her cat with sunglasses on the Facebook page if you didn't see that. And there's Aaron saying, hey, everyone. And Gabby is asking, when are we going to go to Fogo? We're going, just waiting on a couple more uniforms. Kimberly Lavelle is back, says, hello, Coach Cruz, and beautiful chat. Never been on the Jubilee yet. Important word there. All right, so let's talk about that Jubilee, and who better to do it with than our brother, Derek, who's going on the cruise with me next week. And he was already booked on it when I booked my Jubilee. But yeah, I was so pumped when I found out he was on the same cruise, because we haven't been on a cruise together, I think, since New Year's Eve 2022, right?
It's been just a little while, Coach. It really has, but it's going to be a ton of fun. And I know you being an educator, Amanda being an educator, like, you need this vacation, you need this break in order to get you through the last 9 weeks, the last quarter, and then, of course, you got summer. So I know you're ready, and I am too.
Oh, absolutely. And you two have been working harder than anybody, or almost anybody probably, between the travel agency and then, you know, you with your regular job and then you trying to do Island Time and everything. But I know there's been some progress made in the way of that. That's going to give you some more freedom and hopefully not allow you both a little bit of peace every now and then instead of trying to balance all those things at once. But
that's right. It is. We were happy to share, you know, it was this whole adventure, and Coach, you know it because you're on the adventure as well. Like, sometimes it's a fantasy world, right? You live it, you dream it, you build it, and then it outlives your wildest dreams, and you wonder what's next. Like, where can we go from here? And people ask you, hey, what's next? And you're like, I don't know. I didn't think we would get here. I didn't plan on getting here. And that's where we're at. Amanda has turned in her letter of resignation for her job. She's taught for 12 years, which is not even halfway of what she has to teach to retire. There's no way she gets to that 28, 29 year mark. And so she's turned in her letter of resignation. She'll teach the rest of this year, but she won't go back. And we've been able to, you know, to make up her salary, which the teaching profession in Arkansas, Coach, I don't know if this is breaking news, but it's not six figures. You're not getting paid the six figures for teaching. It's about half that, actually. And so with the agency, our travel agency, she's been able to, really get to what she's making teaching. And so she's going to leave teaching, and it will help, I think, quite a bit. She'll be able to manage the agency and make those calls and connections and during the daytime so that we're not working during the evening time. So we're excited about that. Maybe have some newfound time, which I don't know what we would do with.
Yeah, I know, because especially, and then that little sliver of time you do have is it goes to the kiddos and all the sports and everything. But I know you have a lot of fun with that. So in a way, I guess that's the time.
That's what it is.
These cruises for you are definitely much needed.
Yeah, sure. They are. It's going to be an interesting crowd, Coach. I'm excited to see kind of what you think. You've cruised out of Texas, several times, and that crowd pretty well. But this one will be different. And I think I mentioned it to you, but I'll mention it to everyone watching and remind you. The entire state of Arkansas public school system is on spring break that week. So starting that Monday, March 24th, the whole state is out. And what has happened traditionally, Amanda and I have seen it for the last decade because we have cruised this week, the spring break week, for the last decade outside of having kids. And what you'll see is the ship, both the Jubilee and the Dream and the Breeze that week, will be at least 70% Arkansans.
Wow.
And so that's different. And it's so much fun. That first day or two, when the fun squad is, they're going to start a show. They're starting karaoke. They're starting comedy. And they say, okay, who's from Florida? And you get about 5 applauses, and who's from Alabama? And you get 20. And they say, and who's from Texas? And usually the crowd erupts, it just goes crazy. This week, the week that we're going on, those first couple of days are fun because they'll do that. Who's from Texas? And there won't be very many people from Texas. And they'll be like, what? Where y'all from? And be like, we're from Arkansas. And so it is every year. It's cool to see that happen because they're surprised by it.
Yeah, no, that will be, but it's fun for you and Amanda, and I'm sure everybody from Arkansas, because when you start talking to people, you're like, oh, you're from here? I'm like, oh, I'm 20 minutes away from there. So you probably make even more friends, with people around Arkansas and everything. Yeah. So it's really cool. But that was one of the last times, it probably was the last time I saw you was on the Jubilee itself last year when we went for the VIP event. For the naming ceremony of the Jubilee.
That was so cool.
It's just a beautiful ship. Now, I know you were on the inaugural sailing of the Jubilee. How many times have you been on the Jubilee for a cruise?
4. So this will be number 5.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Number 5. And our last cruise on her was New Year's, 60, 70 days ago. And it was neat because some of the same what Carnival has done is, which I think is interesting, and we kind of saw this with Lee in a celebration where they kept him on and they're keeping Kendall on, but it seems like too that they're keeping some of the same crew members in teams together for a little bit longer than what they used to. And so whenever we sailed her New Year's, it was a year since she had been sailing, since the inaugural. And a lot of the inaugural team went on vacation. They came back. We saw them over New Year's, and a lot of them are going to be there in March. So I think that's interesting how they've kept some of the same crew and crew teams on the Jubilee for, like a year and 2 months, a year and 3 months. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah. One thing I am going to miss is Kendall, because I cruised with her for 3 straight weeks when we came back from COVID.
Yeah.
I got to know her real well, and just look forward to like, oh, okay, I'm finally going to get to cruise with Kendall again. And then she's going on vacation, or she went on vacation this week or something.
Just left Saturday.
Yeah, well deserved, but
yes,
it's one of those things. Like, but I guess we got Louis Claire.
Yeah,
I've heard he's really good. Have you cruised with him before?
I have not. So last spring break in March, I was supposed to. Kendall was going to get off the Saturday I was getting on, and I was supposed to cruise with Louis Claire, but he had some flight. I don't know if it was weather related or he had flight issues. And you can imagine this. Kendall was supposed to get off, but he wasn't going to make it. And I don't know how the decision was made, if Kendall said, hey, I'll stay another week, or if Carnival said, hey, Kendall, we need you to stay another week, because another member of the fun squad could have taken over. It wouldn't have been as planned as what it should have been. But Kendall stayed on, and said, okay, I'll do another week. So she was there for our cruise, but we were supposed to cruise with Louis. And so this will be the first go around. But like you said, there's a lot of people who give great feedback, who give positive feedback, who really like him. But it'll be a first for me. And so that'll be interesting to interact with him. And for you and I, between you and I, he's going to have our hands full with answering questions and, hey, who is this guy? What do you like about cruising? And what can we expect from you? So I think it'll be fun to get to know him a little bit.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to it. And like I said, I mean, if I had to choose, I guess, I would pick Kendall, but I've heard really good things. And Will G's on the screen there saying cruise with Louis. He is great. And I've heard a lot of the same sentiment from several people talking about him. So I know he's going to be really good. And even if he wasn't, it's not going to stop us from having a bunch of fun.
Right.
So before we dive right into the Jubilee, let me just say, so most of you know, but if we have anybody new here, Zoe, come here. We got the little diva over here, and anytime anybody does a $10 super chat, she gets a big treat here, and you get entered in a drawing for a free Coach Cruise shirt. I got the new design shirt with me right now, but you can choose the old design. This is the new one that's coming out, and a bunch of people have been ordering that for the upcoming cruise here. And if anybody does a $15 more super chat, I join Zoe in the treat, and I get to have a treat of my own. And I'm very excited about this week because I found this when I went to Costco this week. And those of you that know, I like Buffalo Trace. So this is an old-fashioned but made with Buffalo Trace. And you might think like, oh, well, it's old-fashioned, it's diluted, it's not as strong. 84 proof, this old-fashioned is. So what I was going to do is, if anybody does do it, I'm going to pour a couple shots into here and make a drink from this 84 proof old-fashioned and do that. And then, like I say, hopefully we gave away 2 shirts last week, so hopefully we give away at least 1 this week, and we'll see where we get with that. So, all right, let's get started. And, I've been on the Jubilee once, not one cruise, but one day. Derek's been on it 5 times. And here we go. We got Chris Moss coming up, getting us started. I love it because I was getting thirsty. But we have Derek, who's been on it 5 different cruises, including the inaugural. And look at that. Texas Cruiser says, I'm running late. Oh, I got to open this up here. I had to run to the store for the wife, drinking Buffalo Trace now. Well, Rick, I'm going to let you know how this Buffalo Trace old-fashioned special thing is here too. So since Chris and Texas Cruiser went to back here, all right, let me write you down. So Chris 1 through 15 and Tex 16 through 25. And let me get this going here. I'm going to pour a shot here. And then Rick, since you are the big Buffalo Trace, this is going to fill up my whole cup here. Yeah. Pour the second shot in. And we got Tim G right behind. So I'm gonna get to take a big sip of this. All right. So Tex and Chris, we're gonna get Zoe set up. High five for Chris, and then you got one coming for Tex. So what do you say? She says thank you. I say thank you, and let me set a couple aside here because she's gonna eat those and want a couple more. So Tex, we got one coming for you for Zoe, and Tim G is right behind. Let me get you guys up on the screen, but let's give this a try. And cheers, Chris and Tex. Wow, that's really good. And I mean, you know, most old fashions, you got to mix a bunch of other stuff in there. This is already ready to go. You just pour it in a glass.
That's cool.
Wow. Well, Texas Cruiser, I know you're a Buffalo Trace fan too. You're going to really like that, especially if you like old fashions. I got it at Costco, but it says Handy and Schiller signature cocktails. But you see at the bottom there, it's got the made with Buffalo Trace. Really, really good. Yeah. And then Admin Tim, thank you, sir. You are numbers 26 through 40. And just like that, we're almost halfway to that shirt giveaway. But Texas Cruiser says, sorry, I'm running late. I had to run to the store for the wife, drinking Buffalo Trace now. So I'm drinking along with you. And then Admin Tim, I agree with Chris, Zoe and Coach need a treat. And I love that. Thank you guys so much. And yeah, so we were talking, you know, Derek has been on the Jubilee 5 times. And I'm so excited. When we went on that VIP event, and it was amazing. It was super awesome. It was so fun. I mean, with, you know, Emerald was there and Christine Duffy and
Gwen Stefani.
Yeah, Gwen Stefani, seeing her in concert and everything. And then they were allowing us to get on the boat roller coaster for free. Yeah. You know, they gave us that amazing lunch that had like filet mignon and sea bass. And that sea bass I had that day, I swear it was like the best sea bass I think I'd ever eaten at. Like I order sea bass all the time now because of that one lunch. And what else was I going to say? And there's Carnival Cruise Addicts checking in saying, hey, Brad and Derek. And what's going on, CCA? But, you know, you've gotten that. And I remember getting off the ship and thinking, oh, my God, you know, everybody's going on a cruise right now. I so wish I could stay on this ship. And so I'm jealous because you've gotten to go on it 5 times. So what do you like the most? Like if there's one particular thing that you say, okay, after 5 times, besides just cruising in general, was there anything particular about the Jubilee that you just, oh, I can't wait because of this or that?
Yeah, I really think it's there's a few different things that come to mind. One is, like I mentioned about the crew earlier, they've kept some of the inaugural crew members on there for over a year, which for Carnival is unheard of. So that leads to better service. And that's poolside. You know, while you're laying in your lounge chair, they know you want to drink. They know to come around. They know, you know, and then a bar service. You know, the creativity on drinks. You know, it's not your rookie bartenders there. It's some of your more veteran bartenders, and then food as well. You know, everything from main dining room to the specialty restaurants that are free. Some are free, some you have to pay for. But to me, the crew members knock it out because they were the best of the best a year ago just over a year ago for the inaugural, and they're still there. So to me, I think the service on the Jubilee is hands down the best in the fleet. And then I think the different offerings, you know, when it comes to bars and food, it's a huge reason why people cruise, you know, and a lot of people have cruised on Celebration and Mardi Gras. They're sister ships. They have similar offerings, but when you partner the offerings, you know, of 10, 12 places to eat for free, and the bars, you know, 14, 16 bars, and then the best crew that Carnival has to offer, it's hands down a good experience for me.
Yeah, absolutely. So you've been on the Celebration. I think you've been on the Mardi Gras also.
Not on Mardi Gras.
Oh,
still waiting on Mardi Gras.
Okay. But what improvements, and I know one area that I'm thinking about that I think they improved from ship to ship to ship, from the Mardi Gras to the Celebration, from the Celebration to the Jubilee. There's one area of the ship that I feel got better each time with each ship. Is there anything that stood out that you feel was better by comparison from the Celebration to the Jubilee? Or
yeah, you know, for me, I think the Golden Mermaid bar area, I don't know if that's one you're thinking about. You know, it's a different bar on each of those ships, but everyone loves Alchemy. But I think what they've done with Golden Mermaid and the drinks there, it's a nice vibe before dinner. There's live music. There's a lounge where you can, have a table and chairs. There's a bar area. But to me, the drinks at Golden Mermaid surpass what's on Celebration. Mardi Gras I hadn't been on, Fortune Teller, although a lot of people love Fortune Teller Bar. But I think they've improved that area for sure.
Yeah. And that's not just aesthetically, but like the celebration of having latitudes. And then it went to Dr. Inks with the Jubilee. And like you just mentioned, it's Fortune Teller on the Mardi Gras. One thing they did keep with each of those themes is they got a different bubble drink for every one of those bars in that general area. But you did hit on it with Dr. Ink. I mean, you were on the same floor at least. The thing I feel that got progressively better, Mardi Gras, that area, that strip where Fortune Teller and Emeralds and everything is, that area got progressively better and more advanced. So like on Celebration, they have LCD screens, but it seems like on Jubilee, the LCD screens are bigger. And it's more colorful with the waves and everything going through there. Just more
and interactive. You can choose, you can choose what do you want, the swamp, do you want the sea,
Yeah, you got sharks swimming around and everything else like that. So I feel like that area got Mardi Gras. I mean, it's pretty, but it's not, it's lacking some of the LCD stuff, and it just got progressively better, that general strip, which is a big strip. But I like, Dr. Inks a lot. When we were there for the Jubilee, inaugural naming ceremony, I mean, that was one of my favorite places. The drinks were really good there. And I did go over to the Golden Mermaid. And as you said, there's some really good drinks there. So I like that the menus have changed, from ship to ship. So it's not the same thing across the board. But yeah, it's definitely, I can't wait. I can't wait for next Saturday. That movie Click with Adam Sandler, where you're fast forwarding your life. You don't want to give me that remote right now because, I would just zip to, like Friday morning or Friday afternoon was on the plane right now and fast forward through 10 days of my life. All right. So I thought the best way to do this is just kind of cover the whole ship. So deck 5, I know we have the spa, and that's pretty much the same. And then, any comments on the spa that?
I would, it is different, just the XL class in general. And some people, they ask Amanda and I quite often when they're booking, should I get a spa cabin? Should I buy a spa pass? And I still think it's worth it. Amanda and I had a spa pass over New Year's. One thing I miss about the spa, especially the thermal suites, is the windows. Coach, I think you've talked about this some. It's much more of a cave, quiet, dark environment. And I prefer, those Vista class ships, those Dream class ships where you've got some of that light coming in. But it is different when people call and they say, hey, we want to book the Jubilee. We want a spa cabin. They think it's going to be on deck 14 or whatever, and it's like, the spa thermal area is on deck 5. So it's lower down, but it's still worth, I think, looking at least a spa cabin or a pass or even a day pass because the facilities are still good.
Oh yeah. Yeah. It's so relaxing, and, you kind of need that. And honestly, one of the best things I found about the spa package is it really forces you to kind of recover and relax. Cause, when we go on cruises, especially you and I we're going to party, we're going to drink, we're going to the casino. It might be late nights playing some craps or something like that. And like I say, you might have a few in you by the end of the day. You need a little bit of that recovery time. And so when you go down there, you bring a big bottle of water with you. You go into that steam room, you sweat out, you sit in the whirlpool and everything, lay on one of those, little heated beds and just kind of pass out and take a nap or whatever. And then you walk out of there, you feel good again. And you're like, all right, let's hit it again. Let's run it back and, have a good time. So, but yeah, you make a really good point. And I feel like the Dream Class, and I know we have a lot of Dream Class fans out there. You know, we're talking about the Dream, the Magic, the Breeze. Their Cloud9 spa area, I think, is probably the best in the fleet. I mean, the rooms, the steam rooms, everything are huge.
Yeah.
But not only that, everybody makes fun of me for that gigantic whirlpool that they have on the Dream Class.
Thalassotherapy.
Let's say it again.
Thalassotherapy.
Thalassotherapy. So these thalassotherapy pools on the Dream Class ships, not the Jubilee, not the XL class, but the Dream Class ships, which I'll be on the Magic in July. Looking forward to that. They are gigantic. Like you could fit reasonably like 12 people in there.
Oh, for sure.
You could have like 6 people on the reclining, like fluted, like beds. The bubbles are coming out. And you could have another 6 or so standing around, and nobody's going to be, you know, bumping elbows or anything like that. So it's really cool. So we'll get to
they're standalone. You know, one thing different than Vista Class, it's a smaller thalassotherapy pool, and it's in the same room with all the loungers. You know, that Dream Class, I really like that it's in a separate room. It's up, it's elevated, it's got glass windows, you know, around and on top. It's a big reason why, you know, we're doing New Year. We always do a New Year's cruise, a New Year's group cruise, and we're doing it on the Dream this year. And I honestly think, and Coach, you're right, the Dream Class has the best spas, but the Carnival Dream itself, the first ship in that Dream Class, to me, has the best spa, hands down. It's the largest. You know, the Breeze and the Magic are nice. It came after it, but they said, okay, we spent too much area, too much square footage. Let's scale it back some.
All right. Well, let's see. Let's before we move on to deck 6 here, admin Tim, we got Zoe's treat and Tex. We're gonna put you together here, but Tex, I already got a shot I had poured in there, but admin Tim here, this is going to be the third one here. And you see, I got through at least a shot so far, and that ice is melting pretty quick. So we're going to pour that whole one in there, and we're going to hook up Zoe here. So high five for admin Tim and Tex. What do you say to him? She says, thank you. Because the reason I have to make sure I catch up here is because Michelle B, happy cruising, treats for everyone. Cheers. Cheers, Michelle. And I have a shot coming for you. I'm not going to forget. And I know everybody reminds me when I do forget. So you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour that one and have it ready over here for once I sip this down a little bit. But admin Tim, Tex, Chris, thank you so much here for that. And Michelle, we will get to yours in just a second. And we are already to 55. So we're only 45 away from giving away that first shirt this week. And I don't think, if anybody has any questions on the Jubilee, I don't think I've seen any question yet. Trisha and Bert says Theodore at Fortune Teller Bar in the Mardi Gras is the best, better than the Alchemy Bar. Okay, Sharon McMickens is saying, hey. Okay, yeah, but if anybody has questions about the Jubilee, like I said, I don't think I know anybody that is going to be more knowledgeable about the Jubilee than Derek, you know, that's been on 5 times that I know personally. So, except maybe Will G. I think Will goes on a cruise about every week.
He's been cruising different cruise lines too.
Yeah. We got Scott from Controversial Cruising. Carnival Cruise Addicts is here, as I mentioned. Texas Cruiser says, Coach Cruise and Derek, come on down. Tim G. It's paradise on Galvadise. And Rick, I mean, you know, we're going to be down there. Yep. We're going to be down there. The only thing is I'm staying in Houston the night before and driving down the morning of. I got friends in Houston, Mark and Laura. You know, I met them on a cruise, and they're awesome, and we're going to get together and have dinner and go around town and stuff like that. But I will be down there in the morning. And then Rick, I tell you this, I'm going to stay one day extra. So we get back on Saturday morning. I'm going to stay Saturday, and I'm not going to leave till Sunday morning. So I don't know if that makes anything better. But yeah, Carnival Cruise Addicts says, Houston, we have a problem. They're going to have a problem when I show up because I'm going to be ready to party. I'll tell you that. So yeah, deck 6. So Once we get away from the the thermal suites and things like that, we come out of the main spa entrance there, and across the way we have the fitness center. And every time I go, I don't know if you do this, Derek, but every time I cruise, I say to myself, I'm going to try to work out 3 or 4 times.
Yep.
And usually I'm good for 1.
Yep. That's about me too.
and then I hate to say this, but there's been a few times where I haven't even made 1. But I'm going on this cruise now, and because I have a spa cabin, I'm hoping that gets me to go to the actual fitness center, since it's the same area more than once. But I'm shooting for 3 this time. Do you have any fitness goals, for this cruise of your own? Or
I need to do the same, honestly. I'd love to get 2 or 3 workouts in, and then the track, which, Coach, and you've spoke about this too. The walking track is not in the ideal area on those XL class ships. I would rather walk outside, being especially like on sea days. But that walking track goes around the water park, and half the time it's wet, and the other half the time there's people standing on it, And so I was hoping for like 2 or 3 days in the gym, 2 or 3 days walking outside, walking a couple miles. Definitely not going to jog. I would love to jog, but like I said, there's water and stuff on the track. I'm not even going to try. Like it's not even worth it. But yeah,
no person.
No, if I can get outside, I would much rather get outside. But maybe I may have to hit the treadmill.
The one good thing about, and I was telling Aaron, because Aaron's going to be going on this cruise with me. But the XL class is so much different than your typical Carnival ship. Like all your other Carnival ship throughout the fleet, you pretty much know. Like if you've been on one Carnival ship, you pretty much know exactly where everything is.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's a straight line. You go this way, you go that way, okay, deck 4, I know this is going to be kind of basically what it is. Deck 5, I know this is going to be kind of the Lido deck. I kind of know what's going to be going on. And everything's familiar. But when I went on the Mardi Gras, that was the first XL class ship I went on. I got on and I'm like, I have no idea what's going on here. I have no clue where am I? What am I doing? It doesn't seem like anything's a straight line either, right? When you're on deck 6, 7, 8, doesn't it feel like you're kind of curving around,
for sure,
like a boomerang or something? It doesn't.
Like, have I been here? I've already been here.
Yeah, exactly. So I remember when I was on that Mardi Gras for the first time, after the first night, I woke up the next morning. Instead of going to the gym, I'm like, I got to figure this ship out. And so I was just walking back and forth on deck 6, 7, 8, 6, 7, 8, 6, 7, 8, back and forth. I don't know how many times until I'm like, okay, I think I got it now. And then I, went up to the upper decks or whatever. But what do you find? Do you get a lot of people that are new to the XL class that are like, I had no idea what was going on, because it's so big, or what?
For sure. One of the things I hear from quite a few people is they get comfortable. Like you said, they know on most Carnival ships, like if I need guest services, I'm going to go to deck 3. That's where it's going to be on all the ships, and they will book an XL class ship, but not do the research maybe that they usually do, because they think they know where everything's at. And then they get on the ship and they tell me when they get off, hey, it took us 2 or 3 days to even figure out where we were at. And sometimes people think that they lose time and they're kind of upset with themselves. Like, hey, I should have studied more because I kind of lost a couple of days not knowing where things were at, or I wasted time trying to get from point A to point B. So we get that a lot.
Right. Okay. Well, and let's go down the hallway now. So down the hallway, we have a room dedicated solely, well, not solely, they have other events, but the Punchliner Comedy Club, they have a separate area just for comedy. And then across the way from that is the piano bar, which a lot of people love the piano bar. I know Mandy is here, at least she was earlier. She's a big piano bar fan. And is it called Grand Central, the theater? Okay, so it is called Grand Central. So for those people that are going to be new to the Jubilee or whatever, the Grand Central areas where they have their big theater productions or whatever, and you've seen probably all the new shows. I know their hit show there is something about My Future Husband or something like that.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Now, is that show on par with like the big circus on the Celebration or
It is not your Celestial Strings or something like that, but it is good, and it's neat to see too. Besides those big shows, what they do at that area, Bingo's played there, Deal or No Deal's played there, all the acrobat shows are there. They've been doing the Texas Tailgate. They did have it on Lido Deck for a long time, but they've moved it. The Texas Tailgate is exclusive to the Jubilee, and it's a 4-quarter, like a game, tailgate where that has competitions. I mean, all kinds of different competitions, and it lasts like probably 2 hours. So if you're cruising on the Jubilee, you see the Texas Tailgate, you want to do it, like you're going to have to commit most of your evening to it, whether you participate in it or you watch it. It's really good, but it's really long. And so, but it's a neat area. And one thing that they do too, that I was going to call out, they show sporting events there. So if you're cruising over a sporting event or New Year's, they'll have, live footage on there. And Coach, I'm going to call this out. You know me, I like basketball. March Madness will be going on. And Coach Calipari here in Arkansas, we don't have a great team, but somehow he's got us into the tournament. And I was talking to someone who's on board, and they plan on showing those games on Lido Deck, but also in Grand Central across that screen. How big is it, Coach? It's 3 stories, 30 foot.
That's amazing.
And having audio during the day. So I thought that was going to be cool too.
I saw footage from when they were showing the Super Bowl there. I mean, what an awesome place to watch a Super Bowl, huh?
Yes. Yeah.
Now, entertainment-wise, we're talking about shows and theater production specifically. Is that, Dear My Future Husband or whatever, is that the show you don't want to miss? Or is there some other show or entertainment that if you had to pick one thing, say, don't miss this, make sure you check this out?
I would say that one is the one not to miss, and the aerial show. I'm trying to remember what they call the aerial show. They have it twice, once like the second or third day, and once like the 6th day. But the aerial show there, where they've got one individual person doing different acrobat moves, and then they got 2 people doing moves. It's really, really cool. And I can't remember the name of it, but those 2 are the 2 to circle, at the beginning of the week, and make sure that you go to those 2.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Well, I'm definitely going to try to do all those. I do want to do that Texas Tailgate or whatever.
Yeah.
But before I go down that road too far, let's stay on deck 6. So if we keep walking, I know we're going to pass the Java Blue Cafe. I mean, that's the coffee place. We don't need to talk much about that. We got Cherry on top. But then we have the 2 bars. You already talked about this a little bit. We have the Golden Mermaid and we have Dr. Ink's. And then in between that, we have some shops and things like that. Yeah. We don't need to really talk about that too much. But, Dr. Ink's, I know, has a signature drink with the big bubble, and it's a lot of fun. It's called Ocean Blue or something like that.
Yep, Ocean Bubble. Yep.
Ocean Bubble, okay. And then Golden Mermaid, are there any drinks in particular after being on there 5 times that you would say, hey, if you go to Golden Mermaid, try this one. If you go to Dr. Ink's, they do this one.
I will share it, but those who are here and cruising on the Jubilee, you have to try it if I share it. At Golden Mermaid, they have a smoked old-fashioned. And you're probably saying,
I've seen some of that on your videos. Yeah.
Oh yeah. You're probably saying, I don't drink old fashions. I don't drink bourbon. I like sweet drinks. I like fruity drinks. I like beer. You have to try it. If you have Cheers, you have your 15 drinks, you have to try it. The smokiness is a little sweet. So it takes, if you don't like the strong bourbon taste, the alcohol taste, it takes that right out of there. And it's the best smoked old fashioned I have ever had. I mean, it is to me the signature drink there. But there's so many people that like old fashions, they drink them. But if you don't like them, you never order it, and you have to order it at some point during your cruise, even if you don't like old fashions.
Well, hey, I'm drinking one.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
You know, I'm going to take up that recommendation.
Yep.
All right. Before we go to Dr. Inks, Michelle, this is I gotta put your shot. And you know what? I should have put more ice in here. My poor little ice is about melted. But Michelle, we are gonna get your shot right in there, though. I think that's 3 or 4. I think that's 4. And high five for Michelle. And is it Roscoe? I think it is, right? Roscoe, Michelle. What do you say? She says thank you. And Roscoe, I think, is Michelle's dogs, and they are from North Carolina, Bellows Creek, I believe it is. We got the Bellows Creek Cruiser and Michelle. They won some shirts. I think she won 2. And Michelle, I forget, did I send your second shirt? I think I did. If I didn't, we got to get that sent out to you. Message me again, just to be safe and make sure that I sent that. If not, okay. So all right, yeah. Moving on to Dr. Inks, and I did get to try some drinks at Dr. Inks. I got the Ocean Bubble. I really enjoyed. I forget. I made a video of her. I should remember her name, but there's a really fun bartender there, and
was it Diana?
I think that's it.
Yep. She was there over New Year. She should still be there.
Oh my God, I'd love to see her. She's awesome. She's a lot
great
of fun.
bar though. With Dr. Inks and Greg and Michelle are right. The marketing for the bar is awesome. You know, but there's a small area for a one-man band show plug-in. You know, a guy on a guitar can plug in there and play. And every time I've been on there, it's been some fantastic music. You know, cover songs, sing-along songs. But that area has grown into, it's just below Alchemy, but you'll see a lot of people who are at Alchemy who look over, you know, down into Dr. Inks because the music's down there and people are dancing. It's become kind of a hot spot, honestly, on the last several cruises, especially New Year's. It was the place to be over New Year's. So I'm excited to spend some time there, you know, and sing along, dance a little bit. And there's several drinks there. The Ocean Bubble, though, is the one that people usually get.
All right. We got Rick jumping in here, and that puts us up to 60. So 56 through 60. Thank you for that, Rick. And we got the Charlie's Angel, Angie Brooks. And right behind, we have the Texas Cruiser says, I'm feeling lucky tonight. I'll run to Costco to get a bottle of Buffalo Trace Old Fashioned. And Angie says, drink up, coach. And you know what? I will do that. And Angie, if you're coming in here late, like I say, Angie is the #1 Charlie's Angel of the 3 because she's the one that always watches. Christy and Nikki, you got to get them with it, Angie. So Angie, here we go. We're getting your shot ready. And I am drinking this 84 proof old fashioned with Buffalo Trace. We're pouring that in there. And then Adventures with Uncle Dave. I see you coming up here, but let me take a big drink of this because otherwise. Ooh. I think I just drank a shot. All right. Let me, let's see here. Adventures with Uncle Dave. Next up. All right, so let's get Angie down on here. So, Angie, you are numbers 61 through 80. And then we got Adventures with Uncle Dave. Adventures Uncle Dave. Thank you so much for that. Says drinks and treats all around. So you are 81 through 95. So we are just 5 away. And let me get that shot going. So Adventures with Uncle Dave, here we go. Like I said, I took like more than a shot's worth. And for those people that say, hey, you know, you're just drinking an old fashioned, that's not a real shot. This is 84 proof. So I am. This is a real shot. I mean, just to give you an idea. So my next bottle up is Basil Hayden. Okay. I don't know if anybody can see that, but it's 80 proof. So this is 4 stronger proof than the Basil Hayden. Okay. So I'm not cheating anybody. Adventures with Uncle Dave, though. Thank you for that. I still got a strip of ice left. All right. So we got Texas Cruiser, Angie Brooks, Adventures with Uncle Dave. Thank you all. You all are awesome. And this is funny too. Michelle B, the super chat before, says Roscoe is watching. You see Roscoe right there in her little picture. He has a crush on Zoe. Maybe we can get them together sometime. Let's see if we got any questions in here. Angie says, I was late. Better late than never. Cheers, my friends. Carnival Cruise Addicts. What will it take to get Derek drinking? I don't know. What will it take to get you drinking?
I need one of the boys go grab me ones when I need downstairs.
Oh, yes. Trisha and Bert Nichols get us to our 100. All right, Trisha and Bert. So that puts us at our 100. And then, not to be outdone, we got the Texas Cruiser once again. Let's get to, he was trying to get to the 100, and you got us to start to a new 100. Texas Cruiser, so we'll get you there. And then Chris Moss says, finish off the drawing and start a new list. I love it, Chris. Thank you, sir. So you are 6 through 20, and I got to pour another shot. Yes, sir. And I will pour that in the cup. I'll hold it up so you see I'm not cheating. And y'all are going to get me on the floor tonight. This is awesome. All right, and then Frankie Floyd is here. Our guy, Frankie Floyd, who just got back from a cruise. I think, was it the Celebration or Mardi Gras? I forget which one, Frankie. But 21 through 25. And look, I'm watching Derek and I. Let me get that off the screen here. And we'll clear this screen out. And you see, Siri has nothing up there right now. So for the first shirt drawing, Chris Moss is 1 through 15. The Texas Cruiser, 16 through 25. Admin Tim, 26 through 40. Admin Tim hasn't won a shirt in a while. He was the luckiest one for the longest. Michelle has been the lucky one lately. She's 41 through 55. Rick, once again, 56 through 60. Angie, the Charlie's Angel, 61 through 80. Adventures with Uncle Dave, 81 through 95. And Trish and Bert, 96 through 100. That is for the first shirt drawing. Let's see who wins. Siri, give me a random number 1 through 100. 38. 38. Everybody see that? So let's see who 38 is. And you know what? Did I call that or what? Admin Tim, 26 through 40. Congrats, Tim. So you get that one. And right after that, look, I got a potential spam call that's coming in, which I'm not going to answer. But yeah, congrats, Admin Tim. That's the first win in a while. So I think I've already given you the new shirts, but we'll have to hook Admin Tim up. We got to get you something. We got to get you something new. Maybe we'll get you something off the Jubilee or something. You got to let me know what you want. All right. So I think Carnival Cruise Addict says time to renew your yeah. That's probably what it was. It's time to renew my car warranty. All right. So yeah, just everybody so far today, Chris, Tex, Admin Tim, Michelle, Rick again, Angie, Adventures with Uncle Dave, Trish and Bert, and Frankie Floyd. Thank you all for the super chats. You know what? Kimberly Bell says, sorry if I missed it, but did you talk about the casino? So we're finishing up deck 6. We just were talking about Dr. Inks and the ocean bubble. And then I don't want to forget about this because I'm actually doing this. I think you've done it also, Derek, but Carnival Kitchen is on deck 6. Before you get to the main dining room, and once you pass Emerald's is a la carte, and Emerald's has some amazing food items. I don't know if you want to mention any of those, but then you have Carnival Kitchen right next to Emerald's. Is there anything you want to say about either of those two places? Yeah.
I'll point out with Emerald's, it's a la carte, but the prices are cheap. So stop by there early in your cruise, order some different things. Like literally the prices on most items are $5, $6, $7. So a lot of people discover that at the end. They find something they like, but they get it the last day or two. But then Carnival Kitchen's fun too. You know, you pay your price, you get to cook your food. There's an instructor, instructing you through everything, and then you get to eat your food. So it's a good experience too. Something different that's not offered on every ship.
Yeah. And Aaron and I are doing that Carnival Kitchen. And Angie says she did Carnival Kitchen on the Celebration. Angie, you got to let us know what you thought. Oh, she said it was very fun. Chef Jade was great. So yeah, we're doing on the Carnival Jubilee. I think it's a Latin class for dinner. So super pumped about that. Looking forward to doing a little cooking on the Carnival Jubilee. Now up to deck 7, because I know that's where the casino is. And Kimberly Lavelle was just asking about the casino. But if we go up to deck 7, we have the main dining area. And then if we start walking back, we're going to go past the steakhouse. And then we're going to get to the Alchemy Bar. And once we pass the Alchemy Bar, everybody loves the Alchemy. I don't think we need to talk too much about the Alchemy. But then we get into the casino. What could you say about the casino that you liked, disliked? I know there's a couple parts to it.
Yep. There's smoking and non-smoking for sure. The casino, every single time I've been on the Jubilee, has been the busiest casino that I've ever seen. Every single time. A lot of times, Coach and I like to play craps, or I'll play roulette. And there's a lot of times you'll wait 30 minutes, 40 minutes if you're a table player to find a spot. There's sometimes you can't get in until midnight, 1 or 2 a.m. No lie, 2 a.m. The minimums are high, but that's what kind of Carnival has gone to. So, for instance, if you're playing craps, it's a $15 minimum. So before you know it, you're going to have $100 out there, pretty quick. Same thing with roulette. I think theirs is $10 minimum. There's all the newest slots. One thing about being a new ship is it has the newest slots. But be sure you're keeping up with your points, your slot players, and table players. Be sure you're asking the casino host, hey, do you have anything for me? And don't be afraid to tell them we're really wanting a specialty dining meal. I would like to go to the spa. We would like to snorkel. We've been wanting to snorkel. I say those 3 things because they have given those 3 things to me or Amanda because of our play. Check in early. A lot of people, they check in day 4, 5, or 6, and then the casino host will say, hey, we'll come back. You're not there yet, but come back in a day or 2. Whereas if you ask like day 2, they'll say, you're close, come back tomorrow, and you still have time in your cruise to come back and get something. So casino's fun. Coach, we're going to hit it up. I know that craps table, we will for sure, and we'll see if we can.
Now, let me ask you this. On the Celebration, they only have 1 craps table. In the non-smoking side, do they only have 1 craps table on the Jubilee?
Only 1.
Wow, because the Mardi Gras has 2.
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed that. You could have one. And honestly, I had more luck on the smoking side. I'm not a smoker. Well, I smoke cigars, but I don't smoke cigarettes and stuff. So, but I just happen to have more luck on the smoking side in the Mardi Gras where they had. So I wish they had 2 craps tables. But, it is what it is. And the bad thing about only having 1 craps table is often you can't find a spot. Because everybody's packed in there, and it's just like you go up there and you're like, well, I wanted to play some craps, but I don't want to sit here and wait for a half hour just for a spot to open up and then try to jump in. So, sometimes, you're left out or whatever if you want to play craps or whatever. So,
and even when you're playing, as a table player, if you get your spot, it's full, right? And so there's 1 roll every 2 minutes, probably, which if you're wanting to play for a long time, that's probably good. If you're wanting to earn points, if you have 90 minutes before you're going to a show, or you say, I need to get up early tomorrow, I have 90 minutes to play, you're not going to get very many rolls in, so even when you're playing, it's a little bit slow because the payouts, every roll they're paying out, they're picking up money. So,
yeah, absolutely. And then not to mention we have the regular theater. So that's the thing that we haven't really addressed too much is we talked about Grand Central and the magnificent shows, I guess you could say, the aerial acrobatics and everything that's going on there. And the, Dear My Future Husband show that's the most popular. But then you have your traditional theater which has all your playlist productions. Do they have celestial strings on Jubilee also, or no?
They don't.
Oh, they don't.
I wish they did. Did. They've got a lot of different shows in there. The big knock that people have on the theater, me included, is there is no bar. There's no bar service. There's no, let me order a drink from you and you'll go get my, you can go get my drink. So that's tough. If you want to drink, you need to get your drink. The closest bar is the casino. There is a casino bar. And so you might grab your drink at the casino before going into the theater, because once you get there, there's no bar service that you can order a drink from or, service at the seat. So keep that in mind.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
It's supposed to be fixed, though, with the new ship in 2027. Pierre, the hotel director, which he's coming back on board March 22nd as well. He has said this is something that's supposed to be addressed with the new XL class ship in 2027.
Okay.
We hope.
So let's see. Is there anything we want to cover on Deck 7? I mean, we went past Alchemy. Now the Liquid Lounge, or is it the Lime Lounge, whatever, that's...
Yeah, Liquid Lounge. They have some karaoke in there. They have PG comedy. It's right there by Alchemy.
Right behind it. And then that's where the nightclub is. That turns into the nightclub later on for those people that want to get a little crazy. So that puts us up to Deck 8. And Deck 8, what's the name of the fusion restaurant? Chibang. That's it. I couldn't think of it earlier. But Chibang has the Mexican and Chinese fusion restaurant or whatever. And one thing I want to try from Chibang, I don't know if you've tried this yet, but I've heard good things, is the duck. I know it costs extra.
It does.
Have you ever tried the duck?
Yeah. Yeah, we had it over New Year's. I want to say it was $8 or $9. It wasn't very much at all.
Okay.
But it's an interesting concept. You can eat here once for free, and then it will cost you after that. But again, I think it's like $8. But there's two separate menus. There's a menu for Mexican food. There's a menu for Chinese food. They call it fusion, but there's not necessarily dishes that have both. So you can order from both as many as you want, but it's not necessarily fusion. But I found that actually the Chinese menu is very good. The beef and broccoli is really good. There's a side dish that has noodles and egg and stuff that's really good. But it's a place too, if you want dinner pretty quick in and out. I found over 5 cruises that it's a good place that you can sit down and have dinner, but it's extremely quick.
Right. And Angie comes on here because I have to share her sentiments. I've been to Shebang a few times and I haven't loved it. There's been a couple times I've liked it, and I've heard other people that say, well, and then the Carnival Cruise Addicts right after is just saying Shebang is just okay. Nachos are okay, enchiladas. Yep. That's why I want to try the duck, because I'm hoping the duck is going to be like, because I heard really good things about the duck, even though it's an extra charge. I'll pay a little extra charge if it's amazing. And then here's the thing. You see some people say, they don't care for it. And then you see other people say, I love it. Yeah. And there, admin Tim right here says, I love Chibang. And I've heard other people say, I love Chibang. Carnival Cruise says, duck that, coach. Yeah. So I'm going to try to get some duck. I went on another time and I wanted to get some duck, and they said, oh, you have to do that in advance. You have to let us know. You have to go at a certain time, whatever. And I'm like, okay. But whatever. So and now they're restricting it to one time for free. And then after that, it's what, $5 a person, you said?
I think it's $8.
Oh, $8 a person. And same thing with Cucina.
Same thing. Yep. Cucina is
the thing about Cucina. I don't know if it's the same with Chibang, but Cucina, I know, like on formal nights or whatever, when they're serving the lobster, you can still get your lobster in Cucina. Yes. So you don't have to wait as long.
That's right.
And that's a good idea if that's something that you might want to do. But yeah, so take it for what you will, like Chibang, like some people like it, some people love it, some people think it's forget about it. And then, some people are in between. So, take it for what you will. Now, I want to get to the Havana area, because that area is an area that I've very mixed on by comparison. So the Vista class, and I know Derek and I, one of the most fun times we had was on the Carnival Horizon, and we all stayed in the Havana area, a big giant of us.
Maybe my favorite cruise ever, really.
Yeah, absolutely. It was an amazing cruise. And the thing about the Carnival Horizon and the vista and the panorama is the Havana area, immediately when you walk out, you have your own bar, your own outside bar. You have this nice sized pool. And then immediately to the right and left of it, there are two nice sized hot tubs. And then there's, loungers and chairs and plenty of seating and things like that. I know Angie's here. She was in the Havana area as well on the Horizon with Christy and Nikki. And yeah, I mean, it's just a great social atmosphere. The pool is never crowded. The most people you'll see in there at any one time is maybe a dozen, and it could probably fit about 40, if you crammed in there a little bit. So when you go to a lot of these other pools on the Carnival ships, sometimes, unfortunately, it's packed.
It's packed.
Sometimes there's little kids in there wearing snorkeling masks and kicking you in the face and everything else like that. And you're just like, I'm like, okay, I'm done. I don't need the pool that bad. But there in the Havana area, it's wonderful. And you're like, you know what? This is worth the extra $500 or whatever it cost. And it absolutely was. Now, switch to the XL class. And you would think like XL is better. XL is always better, right? We're going to upgrade the Havana area.
Yeah.
No. They downgraded the hell out of the Havana area. You still have your outside bar, but you have a little pool, off in the corner.
Literally called a cooling off pool. It's not a stay in, enjoy your drink. Like dip in, cool off, go back to your lounger.
Yeah, exactly. How many hot tubs? The other one has 2. How many this one? 0. 0 hot tubs. So if you're in the Havana area, I would say this about the Havana area, because I stayed in the Havana area mostly because they called me, and I think I was in an interior or something, and they said, hey, for $300, we'll give you a cabana. We got some open rooms, whatever. We'll put you in this XL. I think it was on the Celebration. Yeah, I'm almost certain it was the Celebration. And I'm like, all right, you know what? $300. I'll take a little patio, whatever. And that's the only reason I did it, honestly. But it's not worth it. I mean, the extra charge, the significant extra charge that they charge you to get into that Havana area on the Vista class ships, the Carnival Vista, the Carnival Horizon, the Carnival Panorama, absolutely it is worth it. Pay that extra money if you want a really fun experience and you want a semi-private pool and hot tub.
It's a community experience. I mean, you get to know almost everybody.
Absolutely.
Everyone hangs out together the whole week.
Yep, absolutely. So, that is one thing about the XL class that is a fail by comparison to the Vista class. I'm not saying it's a fail completely. It's still nice. You still have your private bar. And I would say if you're somebody that's looking for relaxation, it could be even better, because you're not going to have as much of that social, partying atmosphere or whatever, people having fun, whatever. So if you're wanting just that read a book person and, just out there by yourself and stuff, then it might actually be better if you look at it from that perspective. But, yeah. So.
Yeah, I agree. They could have done more with it. I have found myself actually, it is more quiet. And so I don't want to say you get bored, but sometimes when I'm sitting there and it's so quiet, I'm wondering what's going on Lido deck beside the pool. I'm wondering what's going on in Serenity. You can have conversations. There's hot tubs up there. Whereas that Havana on XL class ships, like you better bring your book, you better bring your playlist, because there's not much else to do.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's see. We're going to get to, once we pass Havana, we're going to go by Bonsai and Teppanyaki, and we'll talk about that. But before we do, we got Sherry. Sherry is in the house, Sherry and Jay. And Sherry, thank you so much for that. You are awesome, as you already know. Sherry messaged me with something very funny. I can't share it, but it was very funny earlier. So Sherry and I got a good laugh. And Zoe, come on up here because we have to give a treat. I think Chris, come on up here. Sherry, you know what? I got 2 treats here. I'm going to set this one aside. I'm running behind because you all have been so awesome today. I think because Derek from Island Time is here. But I mean, we had Angie, we had Adventures from Uncle Dave. We got Sherry right now, and Zoe's just like, yeah, you know what? Stop talking. Just give me my treat. High five for everybody because everybody is awesome. What do you say to everybody? Say it louder. Say it louder for the people in the back. Say it louder. Say it loud. Say thank you. Hey, say thank you. Okay. I think the little wolf is all we're going to get. But yeah, in case I forgot anybody, thanks so much. Cruise Life TV is here. Greg and Michelle. For anybody that mentions it, Greg and Michelle, Carnival Cruise Addicts, Controversial Cruising, they had the one, the only John Heald on their show. Can you believe that? They went on the For Fun Sakes cruise on the, I think it was the Carnival Magic. Yeah, the Carnival Magic. And they hooked up with John Heald. I shared it on my Coach Cruise Facebook page. But yeah, it was awesome. But Sherry, thank you so much. And I have your shot right here. And Sherry, you know what? I don't even have any ice left. So here's what we're going to do. We're just going to shoot this. And you know what? Why not? Okay, maybe that was a bad idea.
You're going to be in shape for 11 days. Ready to go.
Okay, I do have some water. Let me drink some water here. Okay, that helped. All right. So look at that. We are only 25 away from our second shirt. Let's give away 2 shirts 2 weeks in a row. That would be awesome if we could do that. So we're only 25 away from doing that. Sherry says, hello, everyone. Angie says, hi, Sherry. Michelle B., I'm still recovering from nose burn from the vodka that shot out of my nose at CCA on Sunday showing us as, oh, goodness. Could not stop laughing. Yeah, absolutely. Controversial Cruising. Scott from Controversial Cruising says, yeah, sorry about that. But yeah, if you haven't checked out that show, the one and only John Heald participates in that show. It's like, I mean, it's not a joke. It's for real. Like, go check out that show. It was awesome. Trisha and Burton Nichols says, hey, Sherry, you've taken us over the edge. Love it. Absolutely. All right. So we were on deck 8. And let's see, did we cover everything? Havana, Bonsai. Oh, Bonsai Teppanyaki. We have all those great restaurants there, the shops. We got Cucina. We got the pizza. We got the deli. We got Guy's Pig and Anchor Bar. And then we got Summer Landing. Where do you want to take us as far as that goes? And then, I know there's a bar in there.
I was going to say, I think, one of the secrets, and it's because, again, like we talked about, so many Carnival ships are the same. People don't expect there to be a pool on deck 8. And so just a tip for those who are cruising on XL class ships, use that pool on deck 8 aft the first couple of days. And it's almost, I won't say it's a private pool, but that will be the least crowded pool if you're looking for a pool. And there's hot tubs around the starboard side as well. There's 2 of them with the watering hole, which has some like really good tropical, like lemonades, strawberry lemonade, spiked. It's very
What about the watermelon crush? Do they have the watermelon crush?
Yes.
Oh my God, that's such a good drink.
Yep.
I've done that drink on the bar crawl. Yeah, that's such a good drink.
And so it's those first couple of days, check out Guy's Pig and Anchor. and a Bloody Mary, of course, from there. I know we've talked about that before, but then check out if you want some water time, check that out, because by day 3 or 4, everybody else knows about it.
Yeah, definitely. That is one of the better the better pool areas if you don't want it to be too crowded, and 2 large hot tubs. Also the barbecue guys, barbecue. If you want that on sea days, that's available for free. And then the guys barbecue for dinner is available for free. Do they charge for that one?
They don't charge, but I like eating there because usually there's a full band playing, so you get dinner and live music, and the Mississippi mud pie. Is so good.
Yeah. So that one isn't an extra charge, even if you go more than once?
Nope. You can go as many times as you want.
But Cucina and Shebang, those are the 2 extra charges.
That's right.
Okay. So if you're going to use your free Cucina, you want to use it on a formal night where you can get your lobster faster than going to the main dining room.
Yes.
Okay. See, that's good advice. That's why you listen to a guy that's been on the Jubilee 5 times. Let's see. Carnival Cruise Addict says summer landing is awesome on the XL class. Yeah, absolutely. The brewery tour is also awesome on these ships.
Yeah.
I haven't done the brewery tour yet. I mean, I enjoy beer, but I don't know. I just I think the Carnival Cruise Addicts gets it for free. I think there's a charge for the rest of us peasants because they gamble so much. But if you go, and you know what? I want to know in the comments. I want to know if you're an island cruiser, okay? Because I know most of you are. So if you are an island cruiser, and if you don't know what an island cruiser is, you see behind me, it says Coach Cruise. That's the cruise part of island cruiser. And if you look on Derek, if you look behind him, it says Island Time. Okay, so island cruiser. That's what we're talking about. So many of us, I've got, I'm hopefully getting 10,000 before the end of the year, and Derek's like 30,000 on Island Time. But so many of you are subscribed to both of us. So if you are an island cruiser, say, hey, I'm an island cruiser, which means you are subscribed to Derek from Island Time, Derek and Amanda and myself, Coach Cruise. If you're subscribed to both those of us, say yes. Blow up the comments right now. Say, yep, I'm an island cruiser. And we just merge our channels. I always said this, even though Derek is younger than me, I call their channel my big brother channel. And I'm like the younger big brother, larger in size, but not when it comes to channel. So J&T Adventure says, I'm an island cruiser. Tim G says, yes, both. Carnival Cruise Addicts, I think, said as well. Maricel Ruiz, both. You're both awesome. Love that. Thank you, Maricel. Angie Brooks says, yeps. Texas Cruiser says, I am an island cruise and a coach cruiser. Thank you so much for that. Carnival Cruise Addict says, we love you both. Cruise Life TV, both were island cruisers. You both rock. Thank you so much. Yep, I'm an island cruiser. Kimberly Lavelle, I am an island cruiser. And if you are not an island cruiser, what that means you have to do is you have to subscribe to Island Time. You have to subscribe to Coach Cruise, and then you will be an island cruiser. And we will have you will complete the puzzle. All right. Carnival Cruise Addict says Derek was more fun when he drank on his channel. Uh-oh.
I need a drink.
Yeah, I guess so. I promise you, Carnival Cruise Addicts, Liz and Chris, Derek and I will be doing plenty of that on the ship. Less than 2 weeks now.
That's right.
We are like 9.5 days away from drinking it up on the ship. So Controversial Cruising says both for sure. Michelle B says, I'm not, but I will be. I know, Michelle, I know you're a coach cruiser, so soon you're going to be an island cruiser as soon as you subscribe to Island Time. Carnival Cruise Addicts, kidding, still love you, Derek. And Down Under Cruisers says, is island time Fiji time? I don't know. Is it Fiji time?
I'll take Fiji time, most definitely.
Yeah, it sounds good to me. All right.
There's so many, Coach, to your point, so many unbelievable content creators, creative minds, those people you just listed off. It's unbelievable to see what everyone has done with their channels and creating content. And some people we cruise, you and I both cruise with some of these people. Everyone trying to have a good time, everyone trying to live this life to the fullest. And that's what I think of when you list off some of those people, really.
Yeah, and look at that. Scott from Controversial Cruising. Love this comment. Says, I think Derek and Coach were in the top 10, first 10 YouTubers I started watching before I became one. And I think that's about as good a compliment as either one of us could hope to get. So appreciate that. Carnival Cruise Addict says, agreed at Controversial Cruising. And I remember talking to Liz and Chris before they even started their channel. They had messaged me about, hey, we were thinking about doing this. I'm like, yeah, absolutely. And then now they're over 2,000 subscribers, and they're already, they've been on my show so more times than I can count. So yeah, got John Healed on their show and everything. Texas Cruiser says, I'm the same way. CCA Coach and Derek inspired me to become the Texas Cruiser. And the Texas Cruiser is writing and putting out, journalism and everything else like that, and informing everybody. So yeah, absolutely. And, like I said, Derek started before I did. It wasn't long. 2-3 months maybe.
Yeah.
But, he's just blown it up and, become a well-known name within the cruise community. And so, like I said, that's why I always refer to him, even though Derek is younger than me, I always refer to Island Time as our big brother channel because, Derek and I met on the Carnival Vista and we were talking shop, right when my channel was starting. We were like, hey, this is this and this is that. And Derek was giving me some pointers and everything else like that. So it was very cool. So, all right. So we went through Deck 8, went through all that stuff. We don't have a lot of time. Actually, we're over time, obviously. But Deck 16, 17, 18, and there's even a Loft 19. What's anything you want to highlight on Decks 16, 17, 18, and even Loft 19?
Yeah, there's a lot there. One thing I'll point out, though, just because it's different, on XL class ships, there's still so many people who haven't sailed XL class yet, or they have one booked because they are more expensive. So some people, they've had to hold off. But I'll call out Serenity because it is different. The adults only pool is really neat. There's some shaded areas for those that want shade. Amanda always, she needs shade. She gets burnt so easy. There's still the hot tubs that you enjoy. There's still the loungers, but there's a lot of space, great bar, and an adults only pool, which is nice as well. If you can't tell, I'm careful because Coach and I, we know what happens in those pools and hot tubs, but I like to be near it at least.
You almost got beat up by a overserved young woman.
Oh, I remember that.
I was there. I was like trying to keep the peace.
She was not happy. Whatever, she could barely stand up, but she was not happy with me for whatever reason. It may be because I had a drink in my hand that had something in it, and it wasn't hers. I don't know, but she was not happy. But no. I forgot about that.
That was an awkward situation. It all was fine, It
was all fine, but she was upset about something. But Serenity is what I would call out. Just because it is so different, they've done quite a bit with it, and we enjoy spending some time up there.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's a great point. That's one of the best things about the XL class is because so many Carnival ships, the Serenity area, most all of them have a couple hot tubs, but almost none of them have a pool. Yeah. So you get a decent sized pool. and you get a couple very large hot tubs
Yeah, they're huge.
where you can seat like at least 12 people.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's very nice. And obviously it's 21 and over. And there is so much seating up in that Serenity area. And as somebody just mentioned, I think Carnival Cruise Addict says fresh creations on the Jubilee, best salad ever. Yeah. During the day, you know, they have the salad bar open and you can go through there and say, hey, you know, I want a big salad. This is what I want on it. And they will, you know, back there and hook you up and you'll get a big giant salad that you can really enjoy. And then, like I said, if you just want to hang out with adults, at least adults 21 and over, you know, then, you know, you got a couple gigantic hot tubs and a pool that's rather large as well, which they don't have on most Carnival ships. So that is a big perk. Not to mention one of the very fun experiences, and you do have to pay an extra charge for this, but I would say just for the novelty of it alone, to go on a roller coaster on a ship, just for, if you've never done it, I mean, just for the novelty of it, just to be like, oh yeah, I went on a cruise and I rode a roller coaster on my cruise ship. What? A roller coaster? Wait, you were on a cruise ship? Wait. You went on a cruise ship and then you went on to a port and then you went on a roller coaster? No, I went on a roller coaster on my cruise ship. Wait, I'm not understanding. No, that happened. No, I actually went on a roller coaster on my cruise ship. And people are like, no, I don't understand. They're like, you have to explain it to them because it doesn't make sense for a roller coaster to be on a cruise ship. And that's what's happening. That's what's happening. That's what has happened on Carnival on the XL class. They are the first roller coaster at sea. And let me tell you, it is a fun roller coaster. If you like to be scared for a minute, you know, for a second or two, I'll tell you, when you go around and you come around and you go up that first ramp, it looks like you're going to fly off into the ocean. And that's a little scary, you know, especially if you hit that boost button.
Oh, yeah.
So for those of you that are a little faint at heart, yeah, I mean, you get your money's worth. So if you like that adrenaline rush or whatever, you know, I mean, you jump on there. It's only two people per, you know, coaster or whatever. And yeah, I think it's what, 10, 15 bucks, something like that.
$15 for 2 laps.
Yeah. It's very quick, but it's a lot of fun. And like I say, the novelty of it alone is worth it.
It is.
You know, but deck parties, you know, because we talked about, well, you know what, before we go to deck parties, let me just say, once you get up to deck 16, that's the Lido deck. You have your traditional stuff. You have the Blue Iguana.
Yeah.
Guy's Burger, which is on deck 17. And you have a new burger now coming out called the Celebration Key Burger, if you want to try that out. But one thing about the XL class is not most ships don't have the Shaq's Big Chicken.
Yeah.
Shaq's Big Chicken is on the XL class. You can only get it there. And when I get on the ship next Saturday, probably the first place I'm going to go after I drop my bags in the room is going to be Shaq's Big Chicken before the line gets too long. Because the line is going to get crazy long really fast. So because I'm Diamond, and I think Derek is Diamond as well, we're going to rush up to Shaq's Big Chicken and get in line before it gets long and get our Shaq's Big Chicken sandwiches. And they are amazing, right?
They're so good.
So,
they are.
Is that going to be the first place you go?
That's the first place. I mean, I listen, some people may be upset with me, but the 5 times I've been on Jubilee, I've had Guy's Burger one time in 5 cruises. I will have Shaq's almost every single day.
Yeah. Absolutely. Have you had the Celebration Key Burger yet?
Not yet. I will try that one. It's something new. Little barbecue, pulled pork. And I like slaw. We'll see if I'm picky about my slaw, but we'll see how the slaw is on it. But I think it's kind of cool. It's neat that they're adding something to the menu that's been, kind of in place for a long time. So I think that's cool.
All right. Well, anything you wanted to add? Rick, the Texas Cruise says, Coach Cruise and Island Time feeds my cruise addiction. Michelle says, I got addicted to cruise videos and somehow landed it in that 3-hour Tuesday show. Watch a lot of videos, and this is the best group of people. I'm working on getting them subscribed to everyone. You definitely want to be subscribed I'll say this right now, Island Time, cruise news. Like if you want your updates on cruise news, I have not been able to do that because of my job situation. Keep you informed on the cruise news every day. Derek does that almost on a daily basis.
Try to.
So, yeah, cruise news, that Derek is your guy. So yeah, you definitely want to be subscribed. Let's see, Rick, once again, I'm the same way. Coach Cruise Addicts, Coach and Derek inspired me to be the Texas Cruiser. Yeah, I appreciate that. And all of you, that channels that have started after, and if we've been of any help at all, and that's very inspiring to, and Derek, like I said, him and I can tell you, one of the first, we met at the craps table.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
But then we went to the Alchemy bar and we hung out and we talked shop, we talked business, we talked,
figure it out. Yeah.
Channels and we did all that stuff. And, Island Time, 30,000 viewers. We're working on 10,000, subscribers and everything else like that. It's been a wonderful collaboration. And like I said, that's why we call them our big brother channel. And yeah, it was awesome. So if you're not subscribed to Island Time, obviously hit that subscribe button. If you're not subscribed to myself, I'd appreciate it. But I think that's about all we got. Anything you want to leave with in regards to the Jubilee?
I would just say, follow along with Coach and I. We'll be posting content. I'm going to try to do a better job of making shorts. There's so many people when I get back from cruises, they're like, man, I really loved your shorts, because I was at work and I don't always have 15 minutes to watch a video, but your 1 minute short, I could watch that really quick between a call, or, so I'm going to try to do better at creating YouTube shorts, just random. Hey, it's 2:00. Here's what's going on in the middle of the day, and I know Coach, you do the same thing, posting pictures on Facebook and videos on Facebook. So come along with us. It's spring break. It's going to be fun. No telling what the next chapter, Coach, of the book is going to write on this cruise. It's going to be fun.
Absolutely. But one thing before we end, Junebug, I want you to be subscribed to both Island Time and myself before you leave tonight. And I want you to introduce yourself to each of us, because you're on the same cruise, obviously, as both of us.
Yep.
So find us. And say, hey, I'm Junebug. Remember when you guys did that cruise, or live on Tuesday? That was me. I'm Junebug. It's my first cruise ever in a week and a half on the Jubilee, which is our cruise.
Yep.
Thanks for all of the helpful tips. Feel like I already know where to go and what to do now. 100% appreciate that comment, Junebug. And I have some buttons and stickers. So if you see me, get some buttons and stickers. I hope you're on the bar crawl, Junebug, if you're 21 or over at least. We got Angie says, good night, friends. Have a fabulous week. Tim says, enjoy your cruise, Junebug. And everyone have an awesome week from Texas Cruiser. I guess that's about it. Michelle B, have a fabulous week, everybody. And I guess that's about it. So for Derek and myself, Derek from Island Time, myself and Coach Cruise, we will see you all later. Thank you, everybody. You all have been so awesome, as you always are. We will see you next Tuesday. And next Tuesday, I got to tell you, as of right now, Cookie. Does everybody remember Cookie? He used to work for Carnival. He was one of the most beloved, the number 4 all-time Carnival cruise directors, number 4 of all time. He's going to be on my show this time next week. right before I board the Carnival Jubilee. So it's going to be amazing. Derek, did you have last words or?
Hey, I'm looking forward to that. Cookie's always great and always provides loads of entertainment. So I'm looking forward to that.
Absolutely. All right. We'll see you all later. You got some bonus time today. Thank you all so much. Appreciate you. See you next week.
Bye, everyone.
And stream.